right, so it is 5:32 on March 18th, 2026, calling to order the meeting of the Parks and Rec
Sorry,
Advisory
Sally,
Board.
do you have the recording on? Okay,
Yes, I started recording. Thanks for the reminder,
Okay.
Kim.
sorry.
Okay. So, first order of business. I don't know, do we want to close that door?
Yes.
First, yeah, first order of business is our public comment period, but seeing no one here, we can dispense with that. Next order of business is approval of the February 25 minutes. Those were sent out to us a few days ago. Give everybody a chance to look over it if they haven't seen it for any typos, corrections, or updates. If there are no updates, a motion to approve the February 20, oh, that's a typo, 26 minutes, right? It says 25, but approve the February 26 minutes. Motion.
Motion to
So moved
approve.
by Ron, a second,
Seconded.
seconded by Zach. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, motion passes. Okay, so new business. And I can say this, and my heart kind of went out to the Public Works Department because that project must have just been what they uncovered time and time again. It seemed like it would be finished and they were tearing up the road again, but Fifth Avenue really looks great. So an update on that.
It does look really good, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, but it was, I can tell it was a struggle because I go to St. Mary's all the time and I'd go down there and sure enough, there'd be barricades up again and they're digging up the street again, you know. But it looks good. It really does.
Yeah.
It looks wonderful. Yeah. All the landscaping and everything. Did staff want to add anything to that if it was on there? Oh, it's just, okay, go ahead.
So I'll be speaking about something that we've recently done, reaching out to the public. It's North Fifth, actually. that we're
Yeah,
talking about.
Right.
So my name is Robert Millen, formerly of the Parks and Recreation Department. We recently had a restructuring where Sally and I were both placed in a new department called the Asset and Property Management Department. Our group will still maintain all the parks, all the street trees, all the facilities around Riverwalk, but we also have in our new department the fleet division, which maintains all of our vehicles and equipment. And we also have the facilities group. There will also be a real estate division in there that buys and sells properties, negotiates, et cetera, works with our lessees on properties as well. So, but we're still, Sally and I are still very heavily involved in helping with the Parks and Recreation Department as it exists today. And part of what we do is we still maintain the rights of way. And so we had a discussion, Amy Bailey, the Parks and Recreation Department director, we went to her to talk about some issues we were having in the median, North Fifth especially, where we had some neighbors that were planting and placing items in the median. And over the years, the items have begun to accumulate. And as beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you know, they saw their efforts as a way to beautify their neighborhood, to bring, you know, a uniqueness, maybe put a little cachet in there that was not present in the existing landscape. So they began accumulating different hardscape items, plus they were also putting in some landscape. So we were continuing to maintain around those features for a few years until it got to the point where the items became overwhelming or they became in disrepair. So we reached out to the neighbors around there, and we had a contact with a few that were involved in the planting and beautification of the median. But we really didn't know who was directly responsible for the items in the median. So we decided late last year to put signage out, which is normally what we do in some cases. You know, these items are to be removed at a certain point. That was our notification to the neighborhood. We didn't believe that a mailer would be appropriate because we didn't know who really to target with the mailer. So we identified the areas to be cleaned up, and we made notification it'd be cleaned up in 30 days. Well, we got a little bit of pushback from the neighbors. We had some that said, well, we kind of like the landscape in there and we'd like to see it stay. We'd like the efforts to continue. Being that we're the city and we were concerned primarily for the safety and the maintenance of that median, we said, well, it can't continue in the current state. So Amy Beatty came up with an idea to reach out to the community to have a conversation with them, to talk about how we could go forward with allowing folks in neighborhoods the opportunity to help beautify the spaces and maybe contribute in ways that they'd not thought of before, but also to create formal partnerships with groups that we could really lean on in times where we need to say, hey, you're getting a little out of bounds here with your efforts. So sort of really to establish some boundaries for this type of activity in the medians. So we had a conversation late last year, early this year.
Like December.
Yeah, last year. And during that meeting, we had about 8 folks that showed up from the neighborhood and surrounding areas. And there was mild interest in creating a partnership. We wanted to essentially create an adopted median program. Similar to, Adopt a Highway, taking ownership and caring for a certain space. But we didn't have a real framework to do that. So we, during that meeting, discussed that the city would create an agreement whereby we could reach out, or groups could reach out to the city and say, hey, we'd like to adopt a median.
Sorry, Ron. Hey, Alexa.
Okay. We'd like to adopt a median.
Emily.
Formally like to adopt a median. And so we're still working on the paperwork, admittedly, but we've got a very good framework, which is sort of a memorandum of understanding whereby groups, and we are creating a requirement that the groups be somewhat formalized. There has to be a contact person. There has to be a means to contact that group. They don't have to be incorporated. They don't have to be a business. They don't have to be supported by, hundreds of thousands of dollars. This could be a couple of people in the neighborhood that take it upon themselves to beautify one area. But we are working now with the Brooklyn Arts District Garden Club. They're the one group that reached out to us to talk specifically about the North Fifth Avenue meetings.
Okay.
This is a group that is led by a few folks that are fairly well known in the industry, and they live in the neighborhood. They also have some folks that are interested. They've had at least one group meeting, and during that time, they had at least, I'd say, 15 folks sign up and pay actual group dues to the Brooklyn Arts District Garden Club. So I think they're calling themselves the Bad Garden Club. We're still working on that agreement. But what the plan is now, we are once again going to reach out to the community and say, we're going to clean these medians up. We're going to remove the items in those medians because in our discussions with the Garden Club, they agreed that they would like a clean slate to begin working with out there. They're going to fundraise. They're going to work with the various other garden clubs in the city. They're going to work with, I think, some state folks from NC State to really put together a sort of a really good holistic design where, instead of just, gathering bits and pieces up to beautify the area as they're able to, they're really going to put together a plan to beautify it in various stages in a very thoughtful and comprehensive way. So where it stands now is they're waiting on us to complete our agreement. And this really is a prototype. It's a prototype. It's not just for the Brooklyn Arts District or the Garden Club there. It's not just for the North Fifth Avenue medians. We want this to be sort of a prototype for other groups whereby they can say, we would like to adopt a median as well. And so this is really setting a precedent for us. It's really formalizing the process by which folks agree to help the city beautify and maintain medians and make it where we have a partnership as opposed to always trying to figure out who's doing what, who's responsible for what. We want to eliminate any confusion or concern that the city is going to come in and tear stuff out haphazardly. We really want to give the folks in those neighborhoods the ability to help contribute to the beauty of their neighborhood and do things that they'd like to do in areas that right now are essentially grass and trees for the most part.
Mhm.
So as a pilot program, it's taken us a little bit of time to get this off the ground, but I think we've made good progress and we're very near the finish line with the agreement with the Brooklyn Arts District. Hopefully we'll have that out here in the next month or so. But I think through the summer, they're going to fundraise and really come up with a solid landscape design. The landscape design will have to be approved by the city. So we'll make sure that the plants that are selected are appropriate, that they're providing for good visibility at the intersections and for pedestrians in crosswalks and such. But we want to give them lots of leeway to do what they would like to do. And I think that's our new process is really going to allow for that, while making sure that all parties are aware of who's doing what, who's responsible for what. So look for improvements in North Fifth Avenue in the coming months. At first, it'll look a little bare because we've got to go out there and clean up bricks and blocks and benches and bottles and bird baths and other things. And so we're going to go out there and sort of create a clean slate and then maintain it through the summer so that when fall comes, it'll be time for them to plant and they can do so unimpeded. So any questions on that? It's really an exciting opportunity for us to strike up partnerships that didn't exist.
It's exciting, getting that MOU, but you mentioned earlier that there were some hardscapes out there. What were they putting out there in terms of the hardscapes?
Well, they had benches. They had lots of pavers and other things. They'd created edging with bottles turned upside down and stuck in the ground, which is not really conducive to traffic operation or foot traffic. Statues.
It's the artsy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Acme Art Studio kind of open their doors.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
some folks would call it
It's
eclectic.
interesting. And I was going to ask, I mean,
Yeah.
What you said sounds great.
Yeah.
But it all sounds like vegetation. Are you going to be open to well done things that are like?
I think we will be open to that, but it's certainly going to have to be approved by the city.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. They installed rain barrels where they were hanging tarps in trees to catch rainwater, which great idea, maybe not appropriate for a median. But I think there will be allowances for other hardscape maybe, but we're going to have to make sure that it's
Oh, sure.
safe.
Well, and I only say it because obviously the people that put that there had good intentions.
Yep.
Maybe it's like you say, it's down and whatever. But they're still there.
They're still there.
Whatever you may want to do, that may not be what they want to do, but if they understand why, if you say you can't do that, that kind of thing, I wouldn't think they would.
And we invited everyone from the neighborhood to come to the community meeting. I'm not so sure that we had anybody that was directly responsible for the plantings
Right.
at the meeting. They can certainly get involved with the Brooklyn Arts District Garden Club as much as they want to. But we welcome everyone's ideas, for beautification. We want to make a neighborhood that folks are proud of, that we can also maintain.
It's just very whimsical. That's what I.
Yes. Whimsical.
I haven't noticed it. I have to drive by it.
It's right there after the bridge where Acme on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly where
And
Acme
it
is.
starts right there and it goes for about 3 blocks down. There's some crazy stuff.
I'm gonna go check it out.
So how will the city support and work with the BAD or whatever they're trying to call them?
We don't plan to provide any funding for them to do their work. We certainly will do in-kind efforts with, in this case, especially helping to prepare the site for them to do their work. But we're going to providing them support with oversight, cooperation, coordination, those kind of things, making sure that what they do in the medians and other groups in the future do in the medians is sustainable and safe. That's really what we're trying to accomplish here, because as the plantings and other things in the median had grown in scope and scale, it had just gotten out of hand and it was, nobody could maintain it to the level that it needed to be
So
maintained.
now does the city then in the MOU say, okay, business district, or excuse me, Brooklyn Arts District, you are going to maintain this 3-block segment, and so the city doesn't have to anymore?
The hope is that they would maintain it almost in its entirety. Now, we're certain that there's going to be spaces where there's going to be a need for mowing, and we'll continue to do that where appropriate. But I think the long-term goal is for them to really take this opportunity to help beautify and maybe reduce some of the city's maintenance on the
So
back
that's
end.
a benefit
Yeah.
for the city.
So
Absolutely.
they will fertilization, weed mitigation, they'll go out there and have those kind of work days and do all that?
They're certainly going to have to maintain the planting beds, and that would include weed control and other things too. We're less inclined to allow them to do, chemical applications and things like that, just because we need folks that are licensed to be able to do so. Yeah. So, this could grow in, really in
Could be
scope
huge-
as
It could
well.
be huge if you did all of Fifth Street.
Yeah, would be nice. And maybe
Another-
the third.
How focused are you right now? I mean, I know, like I say, from the bridge going north.
Right.
There's about 3 blocks in my picture. Is that about what you're talking
That's
about?
about it. 3, maybe almost 5.
It could be.
Yeah, I mean, going all the way up to the T intersection. It was really heavily concentrated in the very center of that area almost.
Sure.
And so I think they're still looking as that being nearly the epicenter and working from that direction out. So I think the city is willing to entertain whatever scale they can scale up to, as long as it doesn't increase the city's responsibility and need to maintain those areas. There will be a benefit, we will benefit long-term with not having to mow grass in some of these areas and.
I could just see other groups taking an interest. I'm just making that,
I
down, anywhere down Fifth Street. I mean, I see
Yep.
Fifth Street's long with those meetings. And you put the program out there, adopt the meeting, like you're saying, just like you see adopt the highway, all those, but they got to keep it up. But I could just see a bunch of groups coming in there.
That's the hope. I mean, we want this to create interest elsewhere. It's
Right.
not just about North Fifth or that neighborhood. We
Like
want
the
this-
residents of Old Wilmington, I
Yep.
can see you taking an active part
Yeah.
in Fifth and Third.
Folks that might not be normally involved with other civic groups might say, "Hey, I really want to do something in my meeting. And I've got 4 neighbors that want to do this, and this gives them the vehicle to do that."
Sounds good.
It does sound great.
We believe it's going to be a better long-term solution as opposed to us, constantly going back and forth with neighbors and them doing things that probably they shouldn't be doing in the meeting and us having to respond. I think this is going to be a much better opportunity for us to cooperate.
And sure, maybe this far along and it's probably one of the first things upper levels have thought about, but liability. We've got
That's-
civilians on, public land who are maintaining it, that type of thing where there's traffic. Imagine all that's covered, but.
It's certainly going to be restricted to low speed streets. Yeah. And, as far as mowing and other things, we're really not inclined to have them using heavy power equipment in the medians because that's dangerous in and of itself. We want to sort of, in my opinion, limit the gathering spaces. Maybe the use of benches is not appropriate in the median, but it's certainly an opportunity for folks to gather and have work days. And do so safely, with cones and vests and such. But
And maybe, you can only go out there and work on weekends, when there's
Could be.
less traffic, something in the understanding, but
yeah, our agreement now is it's taken shape, really taken shape, and I think we're getting close to having something to work with. Questions?
Great. Sounds good.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right.
Y'all have a
Um,
wonderful evening.
Thank you, you too.
Next order of business, no guest staff speakers today, so we'll just move on to old business. Last week, committee reports, Parks and Greenway, Franklin had given a great presentation on looking at green space. I don't know, any update, Joe, and anything else?
Not to my knowledge, Franklin.
I don't have anything.
I have a list I need to send you. I think it's one thing we could just kind of nail down a little bit. Are we mainly just open space preservation? Is that what we're looking for? Are we looking for activity center type things, or are we mainly just looking for tree preservation? Just kind of looking, because we could go lots of different directions.
I
Just
think
need to-
initially we were looking for vacant land that could become parks.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at our goal 5, and you've listed so many, but
Yeah.
we're only trying to identify 3, and we're gonna go way above that. it specifically says opportunities to serve open space for parks and rec.
Yeah.
And recreation could just be open space, and everything. Doesn't mean there has to be some kind of facility on it. So.
Yep.
I think all of the above, what you said.
Okay.
So I do have all those. I just need to share them.
Sure.
Everybody can go from there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Anything else while we're on that, Ingrid?
Actually, I was thinking we were gonna hear a report, Carson's report from the city council presentation.
I'd be happy to play it.
Is it long?
It's maybe 6 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
Jerry and I had spoken earlier about what
Yeah,
my update
yeah.
was, and I was like, well,
That would, that's
That
good.
would
Yeah,
be
that's right.
great.
That would be great, yeah. And Carson is.
it's
just
with
everybody-
the Hammerheads.
The Hammerheads. that's
Right?
Yeah.
Sally? Yeah.
Let's see, was it the last one? I thought it was in February.
And that's the summer baseball team, right? The Hammerheads, or is that the
Soccer.
team? That's a soccer team.
Football club.
Okay.
Yep. Um, sorry,
Are they
should
still
I-
active? I didn't know they were.
Obviously, they're wanting to
They're very
do
active.
something
Yeah,
out
okay,
at
good.
Encino.
Good.
Yeah, that's what the whole.
I don't know, but they organize lots of tournaments.
It works. I got some.
Yeah, I'll figure out how to turn it up.
At this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. Carson Porter, Executive Director of the Wilmington Hammerheads, who is going to give us a report on the Encino Park activity, which I know is very active at this
Thank you.
current time. Thank you.
Can I-
Amy, will you help?
Oh, perfect. I got you on my side. Thank you, Mayor Sappho, city staff, and members of City Council. It's always an honor to be in front of you guys, and I come with good news tonight. So hopefully, a lot of things that are going on that we're really proud of, and I'm really proud of at the Encino Sports Park. So, really quickly, I just want to give you a brief update, just a real snapshot into some of the economic boost that it's doing for our community, and then just leave you with just general ideas and thoughts as to where we go next. So for those who don't know, Encino Sports Park is a passion project for a lot of us. The Hammerheads had a 70-acre piece of land as a 501c3 nonprofit. We worked really well and hard and with a lot of grind with the city of Wilmington to develop this into a city park. That was a win for everybody because it was able to give the land to the city, and then the 2016 Parks Bond was what the funding came from to really make what is on the brink of being one of the best used sports facilities in the country. I'm proud of that and determined to make that happen, and we're almost there. So what it is right now, it's 11 full-size soccer fields. That's a significant and large park. It's one artificial turf, so that's always something that you'll identify if you're a youth sports parent. Artificial turfs are really good because they deal with weather in a lot easier way than if it rains too much, as an example. So the artificial turf you can play on it any and all, and also the wear and tear of an artificial turf really is it has about a 12 to 15 year lifespan, and you just keep playing. And then 5 fields with lights, which again, as we did the study and really looked at things throughout the city of Wilmington, we just have a shortage in lights, and it's appropriate to give this to the presentation in February when the days are a little bit shorter, because lights on a day like this are huge. And so that's really important. And then I think the building got awards in terms of its design. And so award-winning building and bathrooms. I've had plenty of people who walk into those bathrooms and think that they're walking into a hotel lobby bathroom. So That's a really good thing. Trust me, in my world, that's a really good thing. And it's also, compared to what we were dealing with a few years back, is a really good win for the facility. I'm going to show you guys a video just because I think it gives you some good snapshots as to what this is. It's sort of our launch video that we put together as an organization. But again, I think it gives you guys a good idea of, it gives you some shots from a drone and some images of what this looks like right now. There's about 1,000 kids out there right now as we speak, probably about 500 or 600 cars. And so it's just an active piece of our community. So Dylan, if you don't mind. The story of this park is something that I think we should all be proud of. We did something to make sure that all these kids keep playing sports. As an organization, the Hammerheads, we owned this piece of land. When the timing was right for us to pitch our land to the city of Wilmington, we were ready. We simply said to the city, we will give you our 70 acres of land in return for the investment and to make this a city park. Encino, their sponsorship dollars went straight into our construction budget. We needed some help, and they stepped up. Emerge Ortho is going to be the official healthcare partner of the Encino Sports Park, which is great because we need that support. This is about the coolest use of recycled land that you could possibly be part of. We should all be really proud in our community. We've taken something that was brown and we've turned it into green. That's all for me. I hope it's a good night for you guys. We're really excited. Thanks, Dylan. So just as you saw that, just to keep talking about the story of this place, it became a city park as soon as the land transaction was done. And then we worked together as a Hammerheads organization and really guided by the city staff, as well as Mayor Saffo and City Council to get this done. So I'm certainly really proud of it. It is a active park that is constantly serving our community. So before I show you these numbers or talk about these numbers, I think one of the things that came up as I talked through this, as we tried to get this done together, is the first service that it was doing was for the kids in our community. That was target number one, to make sure that not only was that park going to be something that our kids could access, but it also relieved a lot of pressure off of the other parks in our community. And so that just sort of had sort of a domino effect on making a positive impact on youth sports in our community. So that was number one. But number two was the economic impact that it does. So sports tourism, as you guys may know or may not know, is a big part of a young player's a young player's career. And so we have hosted events because people love coming to the city of Wilmington. And for a long time, I always used to say people come to our events, the events that we host, in spite of our athletic facilities. But now people come to our events because of our athletic facilities. And so this is just a snapshot. We did what's called the Elite Clubs National League. This is a nationally run, the top level of youth soccer in the country. So people were flying in from Chicago, from St. Louis, from Richmond, from down in Miami. They all came to Wilmington for this event. And this was reported to me directly from that event. So just for you guys to get just a little bit of an economic understanding of where this is, 6,000 plus overnight stays. That's certainly business sales in excess of 3 million. And then as you look, it goes down job supported, direct job supported total, so about 2,000. Local taxes that were collected, estimated rooms, again, north of 6,000. And then just the total economic impact of a weekend event like this was north of $3 million. So that is people coming into our community, spending dollars in our community, eating out at our restaurants, and staying in our hotels, and then going back to their communities. So that's just a snapshot. That's probably our biggest event, just so you guys know that number. We have a consistent calendar of events, including an Ultimate Frisbee college event that's going on this weekend. So just a snapshot of what that is doing for our small businesses, our restaurants, our hotels, and our community. So within our community, and just to again make sure everybody knows how important it was for us that these kids were getting access. We have 165,000 unique visitors in the first year. 5 different sports: soccer, football, lacrosse, ultimate frisbee, rugby. There's no limit, and there's nothing that we wouldn't consider, including, I think we're on the table to host the Olympic qualifying archery. To qualify for the Olympic Games. So just something unique, but they need a lot of space, and we're happy to have them. 11 fields helps with the overall inventory, and that's just something to be proud of. Again, there was always this conversation in our town, especially when people went to Raleigh or Charlotte, or even smaller places like Clinton and Wilson, where they would have these beautiful facilities and come back and go, where's ours? And again, to just make sure that the city staff and the city council and mayor supported this thing straight through, and I think there's something that we can really be proud of. So that's that. And then just one last thing, kind of where we are. Nothing's ever perfect. The one pressing item that needs attention is the paving of the park. I think we underestimated maybe how many people were actually going to come into our park, and the wear and tear that it does to a gravel road. It's serviceable, it works, it's operational right now, but if you think about a beautiful piece of property, whether it's a home or a building or the building that we're standing in, and you put a gravel parking lot, it doesn't match the standard of this, and it also is. It's tough to drive on, so it's a little bit bumpy, and it can be better. I think, especially for me, to be ambitious about trying for this park to be one of the best parks in North Carolina, certainly, and beyond. So that's target number one. The second one that I'm just leaving with is just sort of a dream, because I'm kind of in the, we're all sort of ambitious about what's next. I have a huge passion for this piece of property. I've seen it in every single way, shape, or form. One of the things that I think is very possible based on what it is we're never short of land out there. That's the one thing. If you go out there, you'll realize how big it is. We've made it a sports park in terms of playing fields, and I don't see why we couldn't consider making it the sports campus of the city of Wilmington. And what does that look like? Potentially like a basketball gym or something of that nature, that in 2, 3, 5 years' time, every single family, regardless of what sport you're playing, comes onto that campus. So that's something that needs a lot of work and a lot of attention, and you guys don't need to deal with that at all right now. It would certainly be something to have a private funding, but I just wanted to plant that seed of like, what's next? What else could we do with this? And I think we could get, this thing could truly be a heartbeat in our community. And so we've done really great work, and everybody in this room that has been a part of it has done really great work, and we're really proud of it. And then we just keep moving, because things never stop. So I appreciate the opportunity to report to you guys about all the good things that are going on in Encino Sports Park, and we'll keep doing our work over there. And that's it for me. If there's any questions.
Any questions? Keep up the good work. Thank you, Carson. Thank you for that great presentation.
Thank you all, sir.
Continue on.
So let me ask you this, the land, did the Hammerheads own it? Somebody donated? Oh, they had already owned it. Oh, okay.
So what is the financial or organizational ownership relationship with the Encino and the Hammerheads and the city?
So we have an agreement, we have a sponsorship agreement with Encino for naming rights. And then the city has an agreement with the Hammerheads to operate and manage the facility.
Now, is it fully built out like you showed, or just the
Yes.
turf field? All those other 11 fields are all?
Mhm.
I have no idea.
You should take a drive out
I
there.
know. I thought it was just still all dirt. and It was just some pop in
No.
the sky idea.
It's a
Yeah.
nice facility.
I'm never out
I went
there.
to the grand opening. They just did recently have something where they had a ribbon cutting of some sort.
I don't know.
Okay.
At Encino?
I saw it after the fact, so I was like, oh, I should have probably been there.
Well, good. Thank you, Ingrid.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad
That's really
I'm
good,
glad to
yeah.
present that nice of a.
Well,
presentation.
no, yeah, that was really good. you know? And-
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take full credit.
He was in the camera in the drone.
That's exactly right. I was doing that for sure.
Okay, so next committee report, just our engagement committee. The only thing that Ron, JC, any talk with her? No,
Not a word.
I've run into her twice, actually, just in a restaurant somewhere. I'll have to, next time I see her, try to,
I'll try again.
yeah, okay. Okay.
I don't know if that, I mean, I don't have any link other than what everybody else does. You go online and you see an email.
Email, yeah, yeah. I just haven't been running into her. Okay, good. And I don't think anybody is here online for our student involvement committee. As far as engagement committees, back when you were here, I really love those ideas and not in any timetable, but having we talk about a soccer match against the city council or something like that. We need to, kind of pursue that. I thought it was a great idea for the summer.
It was a kickball with the council.
Kickball, yeah, kickball.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, because I think it was when Chikima was here and she seemed to be all into it and
It
everything.
was
so-
into, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I really like those ideas. We'll have to try and have a follow-up meeting and see about organizing that. Thank you.
Highly recommend it for our
Um,
April meeting.
Okay. Sounds good.
Get out at Robert Strange Park, be on the field, good community
Uh-huh.
vibe. It's
Yeah.
always hopping that time of year. Could use the middle school baseball field if there's nothing scheduled on it up there at outside Williston.
Yeah, that was another thing too. I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about wanting to have one of our meetings out at that park. So yeah, we need to start planning that. That would be a
14?
good thing.
Oh, I was thinking 1200.
Good. Okay,
6, I was thinking would be.
Chair's report. The only thing I did not make the New Hanover County Parks Board. I had a conflict that morning at 8:30 at the last minute, so I will try and do that and meet with them this month. I think they meet the 5th week or Tuesday, something. But anyway, I need to follow up on that. I did not make that, so I don't really have any other report there.
Excuse me,
Uh,
Chair, Lemetrius just joined us.
Who now?
Lemetrius.
Oh, okay,
So you
okay,
can ask her about the engagement.
sure.
Student involvement.
Yeah. So welcome, Demetrius.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. I'm just curious, have you and Rhonda and Dave been able to meet or anything on student involvement? Anything to update?
Well, we will, probably this week we'll schedule a Zoom. I did send Rhonda my, ideas in regards to the involvement with, Cape Fear and UNCW. And so upon her review, then we'll get back together for a final determination as to, what we'll proceed to do as a group. But I did
Okay,
send her a
great.
full list of things a couple of days ago.
Okay,
So
good,
we'll get
good,
working on
wonderful.
that before you
all
go.
right. Good. Well, we look forward to hearing it. So whenever you're ready, just let us know. Let's see, moving forward, yeah, chair's report, that's the only thing I really had was just that New Hanover County Board that I wasn't able to make. So I guess let's move on, staff report and what we need to talk about next.
Sure. Yes, I just had one reminder. The officer elections are coming up in May. So if anyone wants to think about officers, and I just put an excerpt there from the bylaws. So the board shall elect chair, vice chair, and such other officers as they deem necessary. And it'll take place at the meeting in May of each year.
Dated in man.
Did I put it on here? It'll be the 3rd. Let me take a quick look.
Are you out of town?
Hopefully out of the country.
Okay.
Very nice.
We'll let you back in as vice chair.
No, that's what.
It'll be the 20th,
Get that out.
20th of May.
I'm going.
Oh, that's my birthday.
Oh,
We'll have to get you a cake.
I know, right?
So you've got a couple of months to think about it. I just wanted to get it on your radar because another year's whipped around again. That's all from staff.
all right, good. So next, anything else from the board?
Can I ask?
Business to bring up? Yeah.
Just to follow up that, it's, thing, just the tract of land in the Benton vacant. There, and from the city's perspective, is there any intent to do anything with it? It's been vacant for like 5 years. you know, where the pickleball talk was, and that's just fallen by the wayside.
There's nothing programmed in the capital program for any improvements or new amenities at that park.
It's funny you brought that up because I was talking with a client the other day who plays pickleball and he's a tennis player too in MP Park. And he led me to believe that land out there gets tons of use. People are doing this extreme frisbee and there's people doing drills with kids. And he says when he goes out there, he sees people out there all the time that it's being used, you know, just open field,
But I
you
just
know,
mean
so.
from anybody in a structured way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
that's,
But it
there's
seems
not
like-
much land,
Yeah.
you know, and there is a group that's willing to help pay, I know, and this, that, and the other, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't. But anyway.
We-
just asking.
We will be resurfacing some of the courts out there this year, but that's
Yeah,
the only
sorry,
work
that,
that's
yeah,
planned.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about it, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, Althea Gibson courts. They
Correct.
just started.
All that schedule.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Anything else? Anybody online have anything want to bring up? No?
No, thank you for the
Okay, good.
opportunity.
Well, I always want to give you that opportunity, Zach. All right, good. So we can get out of here a little early today. So if there's no other business, a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ingrid, second, please.
Ron.
Second by Ron. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. See you next month.
Thank you.